What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke, and guys, it's the end of another month. I don't know how it's already May. It's crazy to think about, so let's go ahead and rank every single film I saw in April 2025 from worst to best. And most of these movies, or quite a few of them actually, not really most of them, quite a few of them are not April releases because I wanted to try to puff up the list here a little bit. So in total, for movies I watched this month, I watched 18 movies. So we're going to go ahead and rank them. This will be a little bit longer, but I'll try to speed through them here just a little bit if I can. But of course, I want to try to talk a little bit in detail about them just if I can. But if you guys like ranking videos, movie reviews, live streams, watch-alongs, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell right next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, let's get right to the ranking. So coming in last place, the worst film I saw in April 2025 is Paul W.S. Anderson's latest film, In the Lost Lands. I don't know who really keeps giving Paul W.S. Anderson money to make movies like this, because after the first Mortal Kombat, Event Horizon, I'd say at least the first 3 Resident Evil films that I think are somewhat enjoyable, and the Death Race movie he did with Jason Statham, Paul W.S. Anderson has just gone off a cliff, dude, with his directorial efforts, because I did not like Resident Evil Afterlife, Retribution, I hated the final chapter, and I hated Monster Hunter. So, I don't know how this dude keeps making movies like this. I will say the world building is kind of cool, and Dave Bautista is pretty decent in it, but the rest of the film is boring and has really bad action and not good acting. Pretty much everything you could possibly expect from a Paul W.S. Anderson movie like this one. But coming in at number 17, speaking of bore fests, The Alto Knights. This is quite literally, honestly, one of the most boring films I've ever seen. The only reason why I would not really grade it an F or anything is because Robert De Niro is really good in the movie. In both parts he plays of the mobsters, he does a really good job in playing both parts. But the film is so boring. It doesn't actually feel like we're learning, the story as a movie. I feel like I'm watching a History Channel movie. A History Channel kind of hour-long special or something like that, just crammed into a movie that's stretched out to be 2 hours. And it doesn't quite work. I thought the direction, the editing, the green screen was really bad. So yeah, for the most part, I was really bored with this film. Can't recommend it. Number 16, I'm just going to speed this one through because I do not have really anything to say about this film. That's the film G20 on Amazon Prime starring Viola Davis. This film is extremely forgettable. This is basically what you would expect from straight-to-streaming action movies. Viola Davis is great, and I liked Anthony Anderson in the film as well, and I did think a couple of the action sequences were cool, but ultimately, very forgettable movie. Coming in at number 15, I know this is a film that a lot of people, I think honestly critics love, but audiences are kind of iffy on. Plain and simple, for this one, Seven Veils, not for me. I will say Amanda Seyfried is really, really good in this film. She's fantastic. She's the best part of the film. It's a really well shot movie. It's interesting with the ideas that they try to go for and the risks that they try to take. But the film overall, just as a whole, I found boring, and it wasn't clicking with me by the third act. All right, 14 and 13, I could honestly interchange because they're both equally mediocre and big disappointments for me. But I'm going to stick with where I have them right now. Number 14 is The Amateur. I was really looking forward to this film. I love Rami Malek. I love spy films. If they're done right, especially in the action genre, it's cool that they decided to lean more into the thriller side of things, which is honestly a good choice. But the film honestly felt so underdeveloped. Anytime, whenever you see the villains in this movie, it's when Rami Malek meets them and asks them questions and then kills them off. You don't get any development with the villains at all with this film. And it's interesting that they try to do more of a character study of Rami Malek's character, of Charlie Heller, who basically is a coward. And And like basically he wants to go after the people who murdered his wife. Interesting idea, seen it done before multiple times. But this film doesn't really do anything to really reinvent that wheel. Coming in at number 13, speaking of disappointments with action movies, Havoc. Now look, I've seen the first Raid. I love the Raid Redemption. I still have not seen the Raid 2, which I say that because this is from the same director as the two Raid films, Gareth Evans. And it starred Tom Hardy, and I was like, that seems really cool. But the only thing besides Tom Hardy that is really going for this film is the action. And I thought the action sequences were great. The action sequences were awesome, and I thought Tom Hardy was really good in the movie as well. But I did not care about any of the other characters. The storytelling is so subpar, and I don't know. There was a lot of jumping around that just didn't really feel warranted. 12 and 11, I would say, are good, but not... They're kind of letdowns in certain ways. So number 12, I have Freaky Tales. This is a movie that everybody seems to like adore. Like a lot of people I know on Letterboxd have like this film rated at like a 4 or higher, even like up to 5 stars. And I liked it. It was a solid little movie, but just the humor for the most part wasn't clicking with me. I mean, and I think a couple stories are better than others. I think this film honestly would have worked better as a little mini series on either Netflix or Shudder. Probably would have worked a lot better for me. But for what we got, it's a good movie. Just, I think there was things that they could have teetered with the stories that would have made this better. But good movie overall. Number 11, I would say, is another little disappointing that it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. But fun enough for what it is. That's Hell of a Summer, the directorial debut of Billy Brick and Finn Wolfhard. They also wrote this film as well. Now, I will say Billy Brick and Finn Wolfhard definitely have a future when it comes to being filmmakers, because I think they're rumored to do the Idle Hands reboot that's coming up here very soon, which, sign me up for that. But I will say the film is well made. It's a well shot movie. There is some good There's some good laughs to have with this film, and there are some good kills. And I like hanging out with the characters. But unfortunately, the biggest letdown with this film is most of the kills, because most of the kills are cutaway or either kind of obscured, and it's like, oh, I don't know. And there's nothing wrong with this film being, 75% a coming-of-age comedy and 25% being a slasher. It's a horror comedy at best, which, again, does not bother me. It's just, I think that the slasher element should have been handled a lot better, and the killer reveal at the end of this film was so obvious. You could see it coming a mile away, and I don't know. And there was just quite a few moments of humor that just weren't hitting. But there were moments where I did laugh quite a bit. Like, I will say that. There were moments where I did laugh. But, I don't know. The film overall, a little bit of a letdown, but still, pretty solid movie. Number 10. This one might get me some heat in the comments because I know a lot of people love this movie. This is another one where it's like, I like it, don't love it. That's Magazine Dreams. Jonathan Majors' performance, if you can get past his behavior, his performance is the only reason to really watch this film. Like, he's that good in it. I will say it's definitely a very well shot film, for sure. Like, that's another thing with a lot of these films that are, like, that I would say are solid. They're well made films. Like, there's quite a few films on this list that are very well made. And like I said, Jonathan Majors is so good in it. It's interesting to see what the lengths that he goes to become a famous bodybuilder. And it is definitely, a risky movie. Like, it's one where it's like, they're not afraid to go for some of the things that they do. But to me, it's not a rewatchable film whatsoever. And I think the film just felt too derivative of another film that I absolutely adore called Nightcrawler. This film just felt too derivative of that, in my opinion. Coming in at number 9, possibly the biggest surprise of the whole year. I thought this film was going to be awful, but I ended up enjoying this one. That's The Woman in the Yard. Dude, I thought this film was going to be garbage. I mean, you guys knew I was talking trash about this thing for a while anytime I brought it up in a live stream. But when I sat down and watched this film, I was actually genuinely surprised at how good it was. The acting is really, really freaking good, especially from Daniel Deadwyler and also the kids. They did a fantastic job in the film. It's a really beautifully made film and also has a really cool style that Wame Colette Serra is able to capture with this one. It's definitely creepy for sure, especially like when it came to like the whole ghost and woman in the yard elements. But the thing that really helps this film is the family drama. It's more of the center focus here, and I think that's what really helps this movie for sure. Where my issue really starts to kind of make this film kind of dwindle is the film's third act. Now look, I didn't look at the third act like for most of the film to kind of judge my whole enjoyment of the film, because the rest of the film is actually really solid. It's just the third act that honestly hurt the movie, to me, to be completely honest. I think the third act hurt this movie. Now look, the ending is very, very bleak. It's very dark. So I will give them like major props for going that route. I will give them major props for that. It's just the execution of like the reveals and the twists. I don't know. It was a bit jarring on my end, but it's also one of those times where you really got to pay attention when you're watching it. So that might just be me. I was paying attention, of course. It's just, like I said, I think the overall like execution of it just wasn't really working for me. But overall, like as a movie, The Woman in the Yard is very solid with really good performances and some good scares. So if you guys were straying away from this one, check it out. It's a really solid movie. Number 8 through 5 are films I would say I really, really enjoyed. So number 8 is going to be a Minecraft movie. Now, for what this film is doing for cinemas, where it's like where they're going to have like a screening for where people can, go crazy, go on their phones, react and all that kind of stuff. That I think is stupid. And like, I don't know why that is, but I don't try to look at that kind of stuff as a way to like, affect my enjoyment on the film, because I saw this film on opening night with a very packed theater, and it was honestly a lot better than I think a lot of people were expecting. It was funny. I mean, it was definitely stupid, but it's a film that really embraces its stupidity. And definitely there's not really that much of a great story. The script is not great. The subplot involving this villager and Jennifer Coolidge I thought was very stupid and very out of pocket. But the rest of the film I thought was a lot of fun. So even if you're not like hardcore Minecraft fans, give this a shot. And it's a lot of fun. Just don't go in expecting this, to be this like next level masterpiece of a video game movie, because it's definitely not. But if you're willing to, shut your brain off and have a good enough time at the movies, Minecraft will definitely fit your bill. All right, coming in at number 7, we have a new A24 film called Opus. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I really liked the atmosphere. I really enjoyed the performances, especially from Iowa Debris. And I definitely liked the mystery that was involved, which I thought was I thought they did a pretty clever job, especially at kind of executing in the third act. The film really slows down in the second act, and I felt at times this film at times kind of felt like a clone of Blink Twice, a movie from last year. But there were also times where it definitely felt like they were definitely taking a lot of inspiration from Blink Twice, but also at times felt like a clone of Blink Twice. But as an overall film, really solid film, really cool mystery that this film involves, really good performances, really good technicals, all that kind of stuff. So this film will not be for everybody, but if you like these kinds of mystery movies, I say Opus might fit your bill. So I would say give this a shot. Coming in at number 6, another win for Blumhouse, because at The Woman in the Yard I said was really solid. I loved Wolfman. And now Drop is another one that Blumhouse has to their name for wins this year. They're on a roll already this year. Drop was a really solid 90-minute thriller, basically in the vein of Red Eye. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Megan Fahey I thought was great. Brandon Sklenar was really solid. Really cool mystery, even though I was able to predict who was behind the drops. I definitely was able to predict that. And there were there were definitely moments of logic where I was like, okay, you just definitely decided to throw all logic out the window with this. But overall, very, very fun movie, very fun concept. Definitely keeps you on the edge of your seat at certain points. So if you like these kinds of thrillers, if you love Christopher Landon, there's definitely some great stylistic choices that he decides to do. It really works with this movie. So if you like Christopher Landon, if you like the people involved with this one, check it out. Number 5, this is one that I didn't really think would be this high on my list, but here we are. The Accountant 2. I really love the first Accountant. It was a really, really solid film. I love that first film. My parents even really liked the first film too. So, and I think doing like a buddy comedy kind of take on this one with the sequel between Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal, I thought was actually a really interesting choice to go off of after a bit more of a serious take with the first film. But I think with this one, what they did so well is the bond between Jon Bernthal and Ben Affleck. So, and the action's really solid. The film's overall plot felt so messy and so convoluted, and there is some pacing issues for sure, and a pretty forgettable villain. But if you enjoyed the first film, this film kind of takes things that people loved about the first film, and they try to do more with it and make it a bit more self-aware. And they do a really good job with that. So if you guys love the first film, like I do, give the sequel a shot. It's really solid. Okay. Now 4 through 1 are films that I loved. These are the movies this month that I saw that I loved. Number 4 is going to be The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Seeing this film makes me very happy that Ketchup Entertainment, the studio behind this film, purchased the rights for Coyote vs. Acme, and we're going to finally see some more Looney Tunes movies. Even though this film performed very poorly at the box office, I really hope we can still see more Looney Tunes movies, but it feels like Warner Brothers doesn't care about the property of Looney Tunes, so Warner Brothers, I would say just sell the property to Ketchup Entertainment so we can actually start getting more Looney Tunes movies. So, because this film was so much fun. I love the chemistry that Porky Pig and Daffy Duck established. The animation is so good. It's really funny. It's really heartfelt. It's pretty much everything you could probably ask for out of a Looney Tunes movie. So if you guys missed this one in theaters, it is on digital now, so give it a shot. For me at number 3 with this movie, I'm actually kind of a sucker for these kinds of movies, because if I ever found myself in these kinds of situations, I would definitely be terrified. That's Locked, the new film with Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins, where basically Bill Skarsgård breaks into this luxury SUV, and he is basically locked and basically playing a little psychological game with Anthony Hopkins, who is the owner of the car that he's trapped in. This was a really, really good movie. It does definitely take a little bit to get going, and there were some moments of social commentary that really did not need to be in this movie. But you definitely get the feeling of being locked inside of a car while you watch this film. And Bill Skarsgård made a bad decision in the movie, but you want him to get out of it alive. I mean, he's basically a down on his luck character, or down on his luck guy that is short on money, and he's basically kind of a deadbeat dad with his daughter. So you want him to be out of the situation alive. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed Locked. This film did not make enough money at the box office, which kind of made sense because the film was not marketed very well. But it is on digital right now, so if you guys want to check it out, please do so. It's really, really good. Number 2. This might be a little controversial. So I just recently watched this film. This is the most recent film I watched on this list. And I know some people really hate this movie, but I can't not have a good time with Death of a Unicorn. I was meaning to see this film in theaters when it came out, but just didn't have time to. It just landed on digital a couple days ago, so I finally checked it out yesterday. I think that was the day it was yesterday. And I thought this one was hilarious. I mean, it definitely kind of feels like it's in the vein in certain ways of how they execute this kind of premise. It kind of feels like it's in the vein a little bit of Jurassic Park, but definitely a bit goofier than you would expect. And it also has its elements of Eat the Rich satire, which I thought was really funny. I thought Jenna Ortega and Will Poulter were the show stealers. Paul Rudd's great. I think the film at times, with what they're trying to come up with, feels a little bit underdeveloped. But as an overall experience for me, I loved this movie. So if you guys love like original concepts, and if you love A24 like I do, you gotta check this one out. But go in with modest expectations. Don't expect this one to be this like new, satirical classic or anything like that. Just go in and just have modest expectations, because this film is not going to break any new grounds for A24 at all. But if you go in with the right mindset, this one was a total blast. But number one is absolutely no competition whatsoever. It's Sinners. Easily the best film I've seen in April, and also the best movie that I've seen in 2025 so far. If we actually get like at least 3 or 5 movies that top this one, it's going to be a great year for cinema. So, but Sinners, with everything that they try to tackle with like racism, religion, music, and vampires, like they do everything just right with this movie. Perfectly. And Ryan Coogler's script and direction was so good. All the performances I thought were great. Haley Steinfeld, Michael B. Jordan as the twin brothers, Jack O'Connell as the lead vampire, I thought was awesome. The music was great. Really, really freaking awesome movie. Best film of the year so far, hands down. If you guys miss Sinners, go see it. You need to see this movie on the big screen. And that is it, guys. That is every movie I saw in April 2025 ranked from worst to best. If you guys have saw a couple of my past live streams, I will be moving out of my old house here in a couple of days. So you guys will be getting an entirely different background than what you see here. Hence why I have my VHSs over here now. So I'm excited to start this new chapter in my life. Not going to be, as crazy with videos or maybe even live streams, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll probably have a bit more free time. But this weekend, not sure when I'm going to get my review out for Thunderbolts. I am going to go see it. It's just I don't know when I'll get my review out, because I'm going to be very busy this weekend. So, but anyways, guys, May is going to be a pretty good month. I mean, we got, like I said, Thunderbolts, we got Final Destination, we got Hurry Up Tomorrow, Lilo and Stitch, Karate Kid Legends, and my most anticipated, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I cannot wait to see it. So anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Look forward to more videos coming your way very soon. And hit that subscribe button once again, that notification bar right next to it, hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.